A pleasure to meet all at last. And today is September 15th. Just like what I did on September 1st, I went on ahead and picked up a brand new title and gave it my own first impressions. I actually feel more inclined to really turn this into a new series, GWK related of course. But it's rare that I basically do something different with GWK, as a majority of which is centered around all the gameplay that I have compiled together. So for this particular instance, another new title had just come out last week. At around the same time that Beetlejuice was out in theaters, Astro Bot was a brand new title for the PS5. The mascot of the PlayStation console himself got his own game. And it's a major console release that has been out in stores for a while. I can't exactly help but see entire shelves of this game for the PS5. And knowing that in less than 2 months we're about to get the PlayStation 5 Pro, which is going to be an epic release. But in terms of games, I'd say in terms of new games, much like Monster Jam Showdown, Astro Bot was definitely something worthwhile for anyone who's looking forward to pick up a brand new title. Because it is his own official game. Unlike all the different times we've seen Astro Bot as more of a free add-on for PlayStation consoles, especially since we had first seen him around in the PS3 and PS4 lineage that have spawned for almost 15 whole years. But now that Astro Bot has finally had his own chance to have his own game, an entire game centered upon the likes of platforming, puzzle solving, treasure seeking, and many other elements. Some world explorations and treasure pickups, and all other things out there relating to exploration and the rescuing of other members of his kind. And it's sure to be a feast for the eyes as well as for the ears, because there are loads of sound effects that the controller itself will definitely show to you. There's controller-based sound effects including the wind, scratching, huffing, and tons of other things. I can't even begin to describe a lot of these things because, much like how I've initially felt after coming out of the theater and talking about new films like Beetlejuice, which you can find my review for that for films I'm willing to talk about again, but in any other case, Astro Bot so far, I managed to beat through an entire series of levels with the main boss of that galaxy. After all, there are 5 different galaxies to explore, and I'm currently about to beat the second boss in the second galaxy. The first galaxy boss centers around a gorilla named Mighty Chewy, and in terms of the second one, I have yet to get to that part. But as I'm recording this video, I've basically managed to get up to the second boss, which I have yet to start the battle on. But for the most part, in all the gameplay I've put together over the past couple of days, just so I can get this first impressions video up and running, it's insane. There's just lots of homages to the PlayStation, lots of things that might seem like subliminal advertising, but it still does pull off its own unique style, its own unique creative value, its own unique way of allowing you to discover all sorts of possibilities in the worlds you explore, including the crash sites. And I will say, it was quite clever for a PlayStation 5 console to double as a space shuttle, where all the Astrobots are inside of, and in the opening cinematics alone, with some incredible high definition stuff, all the graphical stuff aside, it really is a feast for the eyes and ears. Lots of nice colors, lots of incredible sound effects, lots of unique music loops that play through, lots of cute little giggles from the bots themselves, especially when you rescue them. And of course, one other big detail is that some of the bots are actually really special. They actually have different costumes on. And this is mostly entails 2 popular games on the PlayStation, including Ratchet and Clank, The Last of Us, and Tekken, just to name a few. But other than that, based on what I've seen so far, the unique platforming, boss battles, cinematics, and incredible space and planetary exploration values, all of that does give me similar vibes to other games like Dragon Ball or Little Big Planet, but it still is an amazing way to bring the official PlayStation mascot to life. And I feel like that after all these years of having all of this stuff surrounding Astro Bot, he finally gets his own major game release, and they certainly did an astounding job, put in a good amount of effort to it, and not much more for me to say. Scoring in total, based on what I currently have known about the game, getting up towards the end of the second galaxy, out of 5 that I can complete, plus some hidden levels which I also discovered along the way, I can give this a good 8.6 out of 10.1. And so, much like Monster Jam Showdown, a lot of these new releases certainly were impressively well made. And while nothing seems to be perfect, I feel like we could actually get to see much more from the newer era of PlayStation Store catalog items. Because throughout the whole rest of the year, we're definitely going to have some new material to work with. And I do hope that we actually do have some great things to look forward to. There's Disney Epic Mickey, there's Dead Rising Deluxe, there's Assassin's Creed Shadows, the upcoming Black Ops 6. I mean, it's just going to be a really busy thing for me. And I feel like that maybe with this series in mind, this could probably be my main focus for GWK content, other than all the other stuff that I've done so far, like 18 Minus, the mainline series, and Leftovers and the Emergency Stockpile. So, first impressions, I'm sure, is going to be a big hit amongst all that stuff. Maybe even bigger. But only time will tell, because, like I said, in order to keep my finances under control, I'm only going to allow for these things to happen on a bi-monthly basis. Twice a month, that is, not once every 2 months. So, I'll see you guys again on October 1st, 2024, with another brand new title in hand.